Coffee steam rising in the air so thin. Pete's carport creaks beneath the din.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport. We are going to dive right back into Burt Reynolds, which is my 1983 Mercedes 300 SD, which stands for a turbo diesel. So this is an inline six with a turbo, and we've got a smokestack coming right out of the hood. I know, a little crazy, but we're taking it even further now, guys. So went ahead and slammed this car on the last video, and a few videos before that, we went ahead and refurbished these stock wheels, put some white wall tires on there, and now we're moving on to slamming the rear end. So I believe this is part 6 of the series, and this has become such a fun car for me to work on. I cannot wait to get this rear end slammed, see how it looks. We gotta finish up the other side of rims on this video as well too, because I wanna do a full walk around. We'll take this thing for another ride because we did change out suspension components and some brake components on the last video. So I'm excited to see how this thing's gonna drive again. And then we're gonna move on to paint and interior and a whole bunch of other things. I've got a list of things I wanna do, and we'll be bouncing back and forth between that car and Dr. Dre, which is my W140 over here. So let's jump in. These rear shocks should be so much easier than the front ones were last time, and we should have some pretty awesome results from slamming this. So let's get that back seat out, because you got to access the shock from what I know, and we'll pull the shock out and see where we got to go from there. All right, guys, so your top bolts for your rear shocks are gonna be up and underneath this padding here. You've got this little kind of clear whitish plastic covering. Pop that off, and you've got 17mm bolts. You know, I might be able to hit that with my impact and a little swivel. So I think I'm gonna try that first. I did grab my ratcheting wrench here. So let me see. Might be able to get it with that. These are a little tricky because they're double stacked. Yeah, it's gonna spin, so I might need to hold that. But if I impact it, sometimes I can get them just to come right off. So I'll try that real quick. And then once we get these top pieces off, so I'm just gonna do that off camera, we're gonna jack it up underneath. We're gonna get the shock to drop out. What that should allow us to do is slide our spring compressor up in through the bottom and compress those springs down so we can slide them out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna be that easy. forgot to mention, guys, I mentioned this so much in the last video. This is so dangerous, especially what I just did there. So I had to get this thing really, really tight to pull it out. It's basically a shotgun ready to explode. So make sure you got yourself some very, very good spring compressors. I had a much cheaper set before, and it slipped on me a couple of times, and one time it almost got my hand. I actually put that in the beginning of a video. So be very careful when doing this if you are even going to attempt this, and just make sure you get really, really good tools. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this just to give you guys an idea how tight these springs are right now. I mean, look at that. The amount that it opened up, that could have just shotgunned open. Now I've got to figure out how many springs I'm gonna cut off of here, because if we cut off too much, we're screwed once again. We'd have to order another set of rear, but I don't want to go in and out 100 times, so I'm going to go online and see what other people have done, maybe what it looks like. All right, guys, before we go cutting any springs, let's talk about what it means to cut off a coil, at least in the way that I'm doing it, because if you look online, it can get very confusing. Also, this could be very dangerous to do, not only to cut the coil, but if you cut too many off, the car can become dangerous. So, like I said, make sure you do all the research you can, make sure you got the proper tools, and I would hire somebody to do this if I were you out there, unless you've done this before and you feel safe doing it. But let's talk about what I've done. So it can get real confusing, especially since I've got W140 coils in there, and we're going to talk about that. So when I originally cut the front coils, I cut off 3 coils because I did a lot of research, and one of the gentlemen online said his car was still drivable but very slammed with 3 coils cut out. Now, there's different isolator pads on the top of these coils, and each car can come with a different size. So this is just a thin pad, and that was what was on the front of my W126 stock coils. Now, if you look at the rear ones we just pulled out, it's actually got some height to it. So there's some thickness to that, and that'll actually give you some height as well. And from the factory, you could have either picked the height that you wanted to get a higher ride or a lower ride, and some people just got what came with the car. So you might not even know what you have till you pull your springs out. That can all make a difference in height. So when somebody says, cut 2 coils off, well, if you have a different isolator pad, it will make a difference in height. So those can be adjusted too. So what we did is I ended up screwing up. I cut 3 coils off, put it off the stock spring, put it in the car, and I didn't realize I had my brake caliper wedged up in the top. So when I went and lowered the car, it literally looked like I didn't lower it much at all. And so I was like, dang, I might need to go 4 coils, because some people's opinion on what a car looks really slammed might not be really slammed to me. So I was thinking, well, this guy might not have a really slammed car because I'm just looking on a forum. And I made the mistake of cutting 4 coils off the neck spring, and oh my God, it was way too low. It was actually touching the tire. So I had to resort to finding a different pair of springs. So I was gonna order some in, but I had some W140 springs sitting off to the side, and I ended up cutting 2 coils off those, and it fit perfectly. We have just a small isolator on top of those. It's actually not a small one. It's a pretty decent size that came stock on the W140, and it's slammed, but it's exactly how I want it. So these are the 2 coils. This is what I consider 2 coils. So this is what I cut off of the W140. So if you see here, it looks like 3 coils, but you're really taking off 1, 2. So 2 full 360 turns of cutting off. The other thing that you got to look at too is how scrunched up some of these coils can be. So each car can have a different spring rate. So taking off 1 coil could actually make a much different impact than cutting off a coil off another car. If you've ever seen Hondas, they're super far apart, and they're very springy because it's a very light car. So you've got to put all this into perspective, do your research. And so what I'm going to do now, and you can see here, this is where I cut 4 coils off, and it was way too much. The 3 coils on the front actually ended up being perfect, but we went with the W140 so I could have 2 of the exact same springs with the exact same spring rate in there, and I didn't have to go buy any springs. Now back to the rear. So what I ended up doing is, this was the one where we cut the 3 coils off the front, and the height was perfect. I love the way it looked. So I just set this next to it to kind of get an idea of where it came up to, and I see that it would be perfect to take. That's 1 coil, and that'd be 2 right there. So that would almost match the height of what I really liked from the beginning, which was very, very close to what we have right now on the front of the car. So if we cut that off, we could be safe. Now, this has a pretty thick isolator on it. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got the 2 pads that were on the front, which are really super, super thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull off this thick isolator, and put the thin one on there, and then we'll go ahead and cut off 2 springs and see how this looks on both sides. We'll slide them up in there, drop the car down, and see how it looks. If we've got to take off more, yeah, it's a pain in the ass to get them back out because it's a lot of work, but we've got the back seats out, we've got the shocks out, so we can easily just pull all that back out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this now, slide them in the car. I'll show you guys lowering the car back down, and we'll take a look at how it looks. Now, the last thing I wanna mention is it does sometimes take about 24 hours for these springs to settle. So keep that in mind, especially with an isolator on there. Everything's gonna kind of compress back together. So if it's not as low as you want it, it might go down another 1/4 of an inch overnight. So kind of give it some time if you're very close to where you wanna be. With that said, let's get these springs cut and slid back into the car and see how it looks. All right, guys, so I already went ahead and put the other side in, and what's super crazy is with no shock in there, just putting this spring back in with that one coil cut off, I can slide them in and they're actually loose. Now you also want to make sure you get the spring in the groove and also clean this area out if you've got a bunch of dirt up in there, like I do. And then there's a groove that you want to make sure you get your spring into. That's it right there. So that when you tighten everything up, because right now I'm going to slide my shock up in there, and there's it's so loose and there's so much downward force that I can't even bolt in this shock all the way on the top. So I can get the actual bolt to go up in there, but there's not enough thread to get it back in there with the pad on there and then the little metal cap that goes on there. So what I'm gonna have to do is bolt up the bottom of this shock. I'm gonna get it into the actual hole in the top. Once you get that, I'm gonna bolt this up, and then I'm gonna have to either lower the car or jack up from underneath here to compress everything together and then bolt tighten up the shock, and that should keep our spring in place. But it's kind of wild that I can pull these in and out now if I do need to make any adjustments, so it should be real easy. Guys, now for the moment of truth. I know it's way up in the air right now, but we're gonna lower this thing down. I'm gonna let it lower slowly. We're gonna take a look at this as it comes down and see where it kind of lands. Make sure nothing's hitting anything, grabbing anything. Oh, here it comes. Oh, you know what? I might need to get that block of wood out. Whoa! The block of wood's actually stuck, and it is slammed. Let me pull that block of wood out and see if it goes down anymore. Oh my God, guys, I am so glad I didn't take 3 coils out. Honestly, that was my initial thought, was I could put a bigger isolator in there, because I do have a slightly bigger isolator that came out of an R129 that will fit into the middle of those springs, but I did not want to have to go that route. I wanted to try to keep it as simple as possible, and my God, I think I nailed it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot believe this. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish painting off those 2 rims, and we'll pull this thing out and take a look at it. It's obviously gonna take me probably a couple days. I'll get the seats back in. I cannot wait to pull this thing out and take a look at it, but woo, it is looking absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm so happy I decided to do this. All right, I'll fill you guys in here in just a second. Well, guys, this car looks insane already, and we have a lot to do to make this thing even look better, but the stance is exactly what I was hoping for and what I wanted. Very, very level. I mean, look at this view from here. That, to me, is the perfect stance for this style car. Next up, we are definitely going to be tinting the windows. I need to get those center caps put in, so we're going to kind of tidy up some of the minor things that need to be done. And like I said, tint the windows, and we're going to start prepping it after that too. So I might do the next video tinting the windows and the start of prepping this car for paint. And then we'll do a reveal of what we're going to do for paint, because I do have some ideas. But man, this thing looks so sick as it is. I can't wait to just start driving it as is, especially after I tint those windows to make it a little bit nicer to drive around in Florida. But God, this thing looks so freaking good. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope somebody who watches this can kind of get some knowledge out of it if they're wanting to do something similar. And just to give you an idea of how this car looks slammed, what was it, 2 springs off the rear. If you go 3 springs in the front, it's like that perfect, probably level combination. I wouldn't go too much in the rear because you might end up with an issue, but I love the way this came out. I think it looks perfect, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have an awesome day, a blessed week, and I'll catch you on the next one.